Hello, welcome. I'm Renee Valentina, and this is Musing Interruptus. Musing Interruptus is a podcast for sharing thoughts and stories and enjoying idiomatic phrases. You can read along. The transcription is in the description of this episode. Just click on Continue Reading to open a Google Doc. The idiomatic expressions are in italics. Try to get the meaning from the context and then look them up to see if you were right. If you like it, share it, subscribe, follow, but more importantly, continue the conversation. Drop a comment with your answers to today's questions. I love hearing from you. The background music is by Blue Dot. Today's episode was inspired by a friend who likes to run around in very, very cold weather, and we wish him the best of luck at his running events. Picture this. You have an opportunity to cause a scene. It's coming down to the line. You either take the opportunity or regret missing out on having a new story. This is what I imagined raced through the minds of streakers. Streakers are people who go to public events, become nude, and run in front of everyone, exposing themselves. I thought this was funny and shocking. I mean, breaking the dress code of an event can be disrespectful. My friend Lalo tells me it is strategic to have a variation of no more than 10% in either direction, dressing up or dressing down, according to the prescribed code. A streaker breaks all protocol and puts on their birthday suit. What could be more natural or appropriate in this lifetime than wearing our birthday suits? It is counterintuitive, isn't it? You should wear clothing, especially to cover up what we call private parts. This is a social convention and a requirement in some of the finer establishments. No shoes, no shirt, no service. I promise I'm not as snobbish in real life as I sound. There is an economic reasoning behind this. The distinction of our public and private parts favors the existence of a market, from erotic photos to downright pornography. And I dare say, it makes space for those who find the need to expose themselves in public, or for the voyeur crowd that is seeking an opportunity to watch. Possible false economic reasoning aside, there is more to it. Breaking protocol can be thrilling for some. There is a place and a time for everything. Social conventions, rules, and laws exist to facilitate social interactions and protect ourselves from one another. We need those rules and people who speak up and speak out and demand that the rules and laws be enforced. Breaking the rules has its own effect on the psyche. It brings a feeling of freedom and breaks the shackles of control. Like horses that are fake tied to a tree. Within reason and the bounds of law, there is space to feel free. I believe freedom must be exercised within a delicate balance of intellectuality, knowledge, empathy, and desire. This is not an act for people who are unaware of their surroundings or their effect on others. This sounds like I'm saying that laws and rules exist for stupid people who, if they acted freely, would hurt themselves or others. The world would be a better place if more people did some overthinking when it comes to interacting with others. Do it for the gram. The origin of this message might be a combination of the Latin carpe diem and in omnia paratus. Seize the day and ready for anything. I'm not saying that you should do things to be able to tell the story afterward. That is an added bonus to having extraordinary experiences. I also believe that our experiences, happiness, and good fortune should not come at the expense of others. If you're anything like me, you might have a running soundtrack playing somewhere in your mind, informing or supporting the emotions elicited by the moment. This marks how fast or slow you do things, an inner tempo. Running around a deserted beach, meaning no one else was there, naked in the sun, is the most public nudity I've ever experienced. It was liberating, and I love that memory. I've tried nude beaches, but I haven't felt compelled to drop trow. I guess when it comes to being an exhibitionist, I can share my innermost feelings and thoughts with the musing verse. but I draw the line at showing private skin. It is interesting to find out how each of us gets our thrills. I reckon most scenarios have to do with the enjoyment some associate with feeling vulnerable, a type of exhibitionism, although not in the sense of streakers or people who expose themselves to an audience that does not want that. It might also have to do with pushing the line, showing nonconformism, or one of my favorites, formulating sound arguments in the face of dum-dums. So you see, there is a difference between a plain paraphilic disorder and a conscious use of our freedom. I think in the latter, we end up getting naked in one metaphorical way or another, stripping ourselves from the prescribed behaviors and the expectations our roles carry. The deconstruction of imposed identities to become authentic beings. That's naked, metaphorical naked. Thank you for joining me at this metaphorical table. Thank you for listening. How do you get your thrills? Are any of them cheap? When are you at your most authentic? What did it take to be the youest you there is? I'm listening.